Yeah, obviously we're 2 weeks into camp, so we're excited about our process. We're still in the midst of camp, but there's great enthusiasm, great growth, and I think this is where you get young guys to develop as far as understanding scheme, developing fundamentals, and older guys really looking at them perfecting their craft.
All right, we'll start off with Evan.
Brad, it's good to meet you, first of all.
Yep, nice to meet you.
Good. So I'm just curious, kind of, because we obviously this is your first year here. Just curious, kind of like what was your relationship like with Ryan Silfield before you came, and just kind of how's the adjustment been for you being on the coaching staff now?
Yeah, we had talked right around last March, a year ago, year and a half ago. He was with my older brother at Central Florida. So there's always connections in football. So I came down last July and was here as an offense analyst. And so it was a great opportunity for me to get to know the staff, understand systems. So really the transition has been pretty seamless here in the spring.
And I know you used to be an OC at Michigan State too, so is it kind of cool now how to be able to transition that? How actually is the transition, going from being a coordinator to back to a position coach?
I really took it as a positive. And I looked at last year, even as an analyst, it was almost like a football sabbatical, and obviously, very honored to be with, Coach Johns, Coach Silverfield, Coach Bridge, and all the other offensive coaches. You really learn, you get to sit back and learn just a different scheme, different system. There's always different ways to verbalize offense, to teach offense, different schematics. So it's been a very positive experience.
And then for me too, just kind of, what's been your impression kind of the tight ends? Obviously, Sean is experienced with what he can bring. You saw him last year, but just what's been your impression of this tight end group kind of developing behind Sean, if you will?
I really like this group. It's a very competitive group. They have a workmanship about them. So we've got some other guys with John Hassel and Caden Priestcorn and Drew Martin that have played last year. And then Arrington McCray is a young freshman. And so it's a good group. It's really neat to see Sean Dykes emerge as a leader. He's got sort of a quiet soul about him, but he is a competitor and a player, and the guys in the room definitely look up to him.
Frank, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I know Sean Dykes in terms of receiving had a pretty big year last year. For tight ends, how big is it to have that balance of being the blocker you need them to be, but also being the pass catcher you need them to be?
And you look at that position group, and it really is the true hybrid position of football. And you have to have the ability to catch the ball, ability to block and sustain on the line of scrimmage. And there's just unique things about offensively understanding scheme, because you line up in many different places. And so he really is the complete football player and really what you look for at that position.
Appreciate you.
All right, last one there for Evan.
And kind of going off of that with Sean, I mean, now that he's kind of the old veteran of the group, if you will, just kind of how has he grown into being that leader? You know, you mentioned him being a quiet soul, but just kind of how is he leading from what you've seen so far?
He's much more vocal this year. And I do think that there's a maturity about him, a willingness about him. And I think he's excited for his growth. Just the game of football never changes. You can continue to grow, throughout the process. There's always something to work on. And he's done a great job really identifying those things and really working on those things this fall.
All right. Thank you, Coach Salem.
All right. Thank you.